In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to graph lines that are in the form of y equals mx plus b. So our first example is going to be y equals 2x plus 5. So we have our equation which is in the form of y equals mx plus b. And of course, we have our slope, which is 2, and our y-intercept, which is 5. So the first thing we want to do when we graph lines that are in the form of y equals mx plus b is to look at our y-intercept, or our b value. And our b value here is 5. So the first thing we want to do is plot this b value, or y-intercept. So our y-intercept is going to be at 0, 5. So we have our line here at we're gonna have our y-intercept at 0, 5. And then after that, now that we have our y-intercept, we're going to be looking at our slope, which is 2. So we're going to be graphing using our slope to graph the rest of the points on the line. And to do that, we have to use our formula rise over run. So m equals rise over run. That's basically the formula for slope. And we know that we have to go 2 units to the 2 units up, which is our rise, and 1 unit to the right, which is our run. And rise over run is basically, for our equation here, it would be the same as saying 2 over 1. And that would be going 1 unit right and 2 units up. So we can use that to graph the rest of the points. So we have our y-intercept, which is 0, 5, and we can go 1 unit to right and 2 units up, and then 1 unit right and 2 units up. And then now that we have a lot of points on this side, we can also go down, because we have 1 unit to the left and 2 units down. And that's because when we start from this point here at -1, 3, you can go 1 unit to the right and 2 units up. So you can continue that pattern here. So you have 1 unit to the left and 2 units down. Again, 1 unit to the left and 2 units down. So we have our points here. Now all we have to do is just connect the dots. So you can draw our line here. So now we have our straight line, and that the equation of this line is going to be y equals 2x plus 5. So now we're going to be looking at another equation, and this equation is still going to be in the form of y equals mx plus b. And our line is going to be negative 5x minus 1. So this time it's a bit different. We have a negative slope, but it still follows the same concept. So first we're going to be looking at our y-intercept, or b value, and this value is going to be -1. That means our y-intercept is going to be 0, -1, and our y-intercept is going to be here at 0, -1 on our graph. And then we're going to be using our rise over run to calculate to graph the rest of the points. So our rise over run is -5 over 1, and if we write that out here, m equals rise over run, and that's because we have -5 over 1, and that's because we have a negative slope. So that means when we graph this, we're going to be going 1 unit to the right. We're still going 1 unit to the right, but this time instead of going 5 units up, we're going 5 units down. Because if we had a slope of 5, it would be 5 over 1. That means we'd go 1 unit to the right, but 5 units up. But now that we have a negative slope, we're going 5 units down. So we have our point 0, -1 here, and we can go 1 unit to the right and 5 units down, and we end up at 1, -6. So if we were to do this again, we'd end up at, so we'd go 1 unit to the right and then 5 units down, and it would be at 2, -11, but this point would be off our graph. So we can kind of work backwards, and now since we're working backwards, we're going to be on this side of the graph, and we're going to be going 1 unit to the left this time and 5 units up. So it's at -1, 4. And the reason for this is because if we were to take this point here, we'd still be going 1 unit to the right and 5 units down. We're just working backwards to get to this point. And again, we can work backwards, so we're going 1 unit to the left and 5 units up. So that's at -2, 9. This is our point here. So we have our points on our graph. Once again, now we just need to connect the dots. So when we do that, we get our line, which is going to be something like this. And we just about reached to -11, like I said, but this is just off the graph. So now we can go ahead and label this line on our graph. So we have this line, which is y equals -5 x minus 1. That's the equation of this line on our graph. So this time our equation is going to be y equals 2 over 5 x plus or minus 2. So as you can see, now that we have a fraction instead of a whole number for our slope, but we're still following the same rules. So of course our first rule is to look at our y-intercept or b value, and our b value this time is -2, and our y-intercept would be 0, -2. So you can go ahead and plot this point on our graph at 0, -2. And then we can go ahead and find our rise over run. So our rise over run this time is going to be m equals rise over run, of course, that's our formula. And then the actual values will be the same as this. It's the fraction, so it's 2 over 5. And this time, instead of going 1 unit to the right, we're going to be going 5 units to the right and 2 units up. And we're going, of course, 2 units up this time because we have a positive slope, because our slope is positive. If it was -2 over 5, then we'd be going 5 units to the right and 2 units down. So we can go ahead and look at that now. So you have 5 units to the right and 2 units up, and 5 units to the right and 2 units up. And again, we can go ahead and look at our points on this side of the graph because we're going backwards this time. So we have, we're going this time 5 units to the left and 2 units down. And that's because just from this point, it'd be going 5 units to the right and 2 units up. So you can go ahead and continue to do that with 5 units to the right and 2 units down. So now this is going to be our equation, our straight line on our graph, and we have our equation, which is y equals 2/5 2 over 5 x minus 2. Once again, this is the same concept, but this time we're just, instead of saying 2 over 1, we're using it's 2 over 5, so that means we have to go 5 units to the right and 2 units up and not down because 2 over 5 is positive. So in the last example of this video, we're going to be looking at another equation, and this equation is going to be y equals negative 7 over 2x minus 8. So we're following the same concept again. This time we're just So in the last example of this video, we're going to be looking at another example, and that is y equals negative 7 over 2x plus 8. So even though we have a negative fraction here, we're still using the same steps, and this step is to first look at our y-intercept, and then use rise over run to graph the rest of the points. So our y-intercept is going to be our b value, which is 8. So our y-intercept is 0, 8. So if we go ahead and graph 0, 8 on our y-axis, it would be here. And then we can use rise over run again to find how much we need to go up and down. So we have m equals rise over run, and our rise is going to be negative 7, and the run would be 2. So that means we're going to be going 2 units to the right, and this time 7 units down. So when we do that, and it's 7 units down because we have a negative slope. So when we do that, it's going to be 2 to the right, so 2 to the right and 7 down, which is here, because 8 minus 7 is 1. And then 2 units down, 2 units to the right and 7 down. So that's going to be, if we go 7 down, that would be here. And then we can go in the opposite direction when we find the points on this side. So it's 2 units to the right, and this time it would be 7 up. But of course, we don't have enough space on our graphs. We can just leave this point here, and then we have 3 points here, so that should be enough to connect the lines and connect the points and graph our line. So if you do that, we can form a nice straight line here. And that's going to be basically going to be our straight line on our graph. So we have our equation here, which is y equals negative 7 over 2x plus 8. So that's the equation of this line, and that's going to be our last example for this video. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and now understand how to graph straight lines that are in the form of y equals mx plus b. And if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and check out the other videos on the channel. Thank you.